السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. Our dear and respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a new episode of KTL's Muslim Mind podcast with Samaht al-Sheikh Mu'taz and myself. Since Muharram is around the corner and Ashura is coming up, we wanted to dedicate this episode for Imam Hussein alayhi salam and speak about Ashura, the main purpose, the main goal, the main message of Imam Hussein, and speak about controversial acts that are practiced maybe by some of the Shia. Want to scratch on certain topics and speak about them to reveal maybe some deviations that could happen or that occurred that do not reflect Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And yeah, I think we can just start to speak about this. Sheikhna, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good, Habibi, I'm good.
And when it comes to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, there's just so much that we can talk about, right? I mean, we've been holding Majalis for the last 1400 years, and throughout the months of Muharram, we have these lectures and we have these talks and hundreds of thousands of ulama all over the world and speakers and reciters. So there's no limit on the material that we can discuss or the topics that we can touch on. But what we wanted to discuss, right, was how we are going to, first of all, our duty towards these majalis, our duty towards Imam Hussein alayhi salam, so that this Muharram, us and our viewers, we can go into these majalis with this proper mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah? We can go in with the correct mindset, where we aim to attend these majalis with an intention of not only benefiting from these majalis, but having them manifest in my life. Yeah, and also knowing which majalis to attend. Not every majlis of Al-Hussein alayhi salam is a majlis of Al-Hussein alayhi salam, right? So we want to be very careful on the quality of the majalis, what is being presented, how Al-Hussein alayhi salam is being presented in these majalis, and then we also want to take what we earned from these majalis and implement and manifest them in our daily lives.
Exactly, and I think you're the perfect person to talk to about this topic, because I think
perfect.
those who know you, they know that when it comes to these topics, you just have no cover, no nothing, just tell us the truth as it is, as it is.
Inshallah.
Because I feel like Ashura is our strongest. I don't feel that it is actually the fact that Ashura is the strongest event that we have, because it's an event of human values. It's al-insaniyya, and this is why Imam Hussein is for everyone, right? We don't say Imam Hussein is ours. We are proud followers of Imam Hussein, yes, but Imam Hussein is for humanity, is for everyone.
Just like his grandfather, right? His grandfather was rahmatan lil alameen.
Lil alameen, exactly.
For all the world.
So we say that Ashura is one of the greatest, if not the greatest event that we have for people to actually wake up. Because I know so many people whose life changed in the days of Ashura and Muharram, listening to the tragedy and what happened and taking the lessons. This is the important part, because many people just attend Ashura for the sake of attending Ashura. It's good. Like, we're not saying do not attend. بالعكس والعياذ بالله. Of course, attend the Majalis of Ashura, but take it a step further. Don't just go to the Majlis for the sake of the Majlis. Because what we actually see, I'm going to start off with that, is people just go from the first night of Ashura, Muharram, till the 10th night. And then after the 10th night, everything is done and finished. Khalas. Ashura is over. We just have some days of grief, a bit of Majalis, and that's it. Like, to most people, Ashura ends on the 10th of Muharram. But it actually starts on the 10th of Muharram.
In reality, that's a tragedy. That's when the tragedy really begins.
Exactly. We're building up 9 nights to reach the 10th of Muharram for the tragedy to begin. But most people just think, khalas, Ashura is over. It was nice. and Ashura is over now. But this is not how we should see these 10 days, and this is not the perception that we should have. It starts on the 10th of Muharram. We just split those 10 nights, because when I was young, I thought that Ashura took place in 10 days.
And on every night, someone's tashhad.
Exactly. I think everyone thought that, right?
Had that same.
And then when I grew older, I was like, oh, it didn't take like 10 days. It was just all in one day, like half a day even. So, yeah, Ashura, we need to put it into the right place. What is it? Why do we mourn every year? What's the main goal of Imam Hussein, the main message that we need to take away? When we enter Ashura, we shouldn't leave it the way we entered Ashura. Right?
It's like Shahr Ramadan, right?
Same.
Just like Shahr Ramadan. You shouldn't leave Shahr Ramadan the same way you entered it. In fact, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam says your 2 days shouldn't be the same, right?
Man tasawa yawma fahuwa maghbun.
The one whose 2 days are the same. Then he is at loss, basically, the Imam alayhi salam is saying. So imagine having an entire like 10 nights of al-Hussein alayhi salam, and then you leave these 10 nights with Imam al-Hussein like nothing happened. You go the same way you were before these majalis, or maybe even worse than what you were. But just on this point, but this is also the beautiful thing about Muharram and about the majalis of al-Hussein alayhi salam, is that everyone will attend. Yeah, no matter where your iman is at, no matter where your knowledge is at, no matter what your relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal is at that time, more often than not, almost everybody attends. Everybody. There are people who probably don't even pray, who don't even enter the masjid, right?
They don't wear hijab, they come to the Majlis.
They'll come to the Majlis of al-Hussein. Al-Hussein alayhi salam will draw them in, okay? And we'll see them. And you'll see that this same person that doesn't pray, for example, that doesn't wear hijab, when they come sit in the Majlis, they will be equivalent to maybe some of our maraja' who on these nights won't talk, won't give any speeches. They'll come and they'll sit in that same Majlis. Yeah? They'll sit just to listen to the musibah of al-Hussein alayhi salam. So it's kind of like ihram, right? Everyone becomes sort of equal in the Majlis of al-Hussein
alayhi salam. Shia haters now just comment, what's this? What are they talking?
Yeah, what are they talking about?
Comparing
inshallah?
Ashura to Hajj.
You know what? But honestly, I've had these experiences even with some of my Sunni friends and relatives that have come and attended these majalis of al-Hussein alayhi salam. And honestly, even they'll admit to you that we wish we had something like this. Yeah? Because it's so energetic, right? It recharges you. It sort of realigns your path. Okay, you have the whole year, you know. Okay, Shahr Ramadan comes, it gets you spiritually. Spiritually, you start to become more aware, you're more refined. But then Muharram comes in, and Muharram is more like a supercharge. It charges you, you know, like we say, bithamsak.
Yes.
Okay, and then it sort of guides you. Take this spirituality, take this hamas, not the organization, in the
Hamas, the word,
the
excitement, the motivation.
Exactly, the enthusiasm, and now direct it, okay? Direct it towards making yourself better, making your family better, your society, and eventually the world better.
Exactly. Look, there's a secret to these majalis, because there's no other event during the year that gathers as much people, right? Because there's an emotional connection to Imam Hussein. You know, when we say like this dam'a, this tear that you drop, you have so much reward for it. It's a special event, and it's the biggest gathering that we have, and this is our strongest point, right? I always say this is our virus in a good way.
Good virus.
A good virus, because it's unstoppable. It's just there.
Infectious. Yeah.
It infects you with the love of Imam al-Hussein and the Ahlul Bayt and the path of truth. So it has this power in itself. Like imagine 1,400 years after the tragedy, we're still mourning. We still have the majalis, we still have the nights. So there is something about the tragedy itself that attracts people. Absolutely. And we need to make use of that point to guide people. We use the name of Imam al-Hussein the way he wants it to be used, to take the main message. Because I'm sure Imam Hussein, he doesn't want us just to go to the Majlis, shed a tear, okay, and leave. And I'm going to be specific about what I say now. He doesn't want us to shed a tear for the sake of shedding a tear, even though you have so much reward for it. But that tear wants you, or should make you move towards justice.
Absolutely.
Because this was the main message of Imam Hussein. He said, ما خرجت أو لم أخرج أشرا ولا بطرا ولا ظالما ولا مفسدا إنما خرجت. This is very important. إنما خرجت لطلب الإصلاح في أمتي جدي.
Reform.
الإصلاح, reform. We take that aside. No one looks at reform, right? And even if somebody does, they only see reform in the way of, like, let's say, war, and the Arabic word is jihad, right? Only jihad, to fight. But we need reform in every aspect
On
of
all
life.
levels, right? Yeah.
On the level of economy, on the level of nature and environment, in every aspect of life, when it comes to family, relationships, marriage, like on all aspects, we need a reform. But we are not aware of this. We just go 10 days, Ashura, we attend, we leave, nothing changes.
That's it.
But we need to take the main message. Are we really striving or working towards making a reform, towards changing something in this dunya, in this life? Or are we not doing that? Why did Imam Hussein go to Karbala?
I mean,
Why did he rise?
Even Sheikh, if we touch on the statement you made, Imam Hussein alayhi salam's statement of reform, like you said, it's not, he doesn't say reformation in the religion of my grandfather, yeah? Al-Islah fi dini jaddi. No, he says fi ummati jaddi. So Imam Hussein alayhi salam's goal here is the ummah on all levels. Whatever concerns the ummah, everything that has to do with the ummah as a whole, starting off from your spiritual needs, you need spiritual reformation, to your individual reformation, to your family reformation, reform within your community, within your society, leading to global reformation. Yeah, this is the message of Al-Hussein alayhi salam. And if reformation doesn't begin at the beginning, if it doesn't begin within oneself, no one can reform. Only a fool thinks that he can reform society if he doesn't reform himself first. Yeah,
Exactly.
فاقد الشيء لا يعطيه. Yeah, if you lack a thing, you cannot give it. So if you do not possess the spirit of reformation within yourself, you cannot be a reformist. You cannot reform society. You cannot reform the world. You would genuinely have to be a fool, excuse my language, to think this. And this is why we have these majalis. Now this,
To awaken you.
To
get you back on track.
This is
to remind you.
Here now I'm going to jump into maybe the deep end here. And is a majlis, in your opinion, a majlis that doesn't focus on reform? Is this really a majlis of Al-Hussein alayhi salam?
Look, not only that, I'm gonna answer you. Not only that, any type of reform or reformation, can we say reformation?
Yeah, reformation.
Yeah. Any type of reformation is a Majlis Husseini, even though it's not the classical picture or scenery of chairs and a reciter. If you are striving for reform, you are helping Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam reach his goal. You are helping,
you're carrying the banner.
Exactly.
Yeah? You're carrying the banner. You're continuing the mission.
Even if you're just cleaning the environment, even if you're helping society, even whatever you're doing. So a majlis that does not lead the audience to go and actually seek reformation within themselves and everything else around them, I don't think this is a Majlis Husseini.
I'll go a step further.
You always go a step further, and I love that.
I'll go a step further and say this is a majlis which has robbed Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam.
Yes.
Yeah, they've robbed Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam of potential followers, potential soldiers. These people, they've come, these lovers of al-Hussein alayhi salam, no matter how big or how small your majlis is, whether it be 10, 15, 20, 300, 400, 500, 1,000 people in your majlis, they've come to you so that you can deliver them and bring them to al-Hussein alayhi salam. If you don't take them on the path of reformation, then you've stolen them from al-Hussein alayhi salam.
100%.
Yeah? You've robbed them. And they'll ask you, you'll be responsible for it. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, I think, will ask you on the Day of Judgment, what did you do with these people, this amana, my Shia that came and they sought me. They wanted me.
And you used my name.
And you used my name. You used my name to promote your voice. Yeah?
Oh, we'll come to that in a bit.
To promote your voice, to promote your mawkib, okay, to promote your name. You use me to promote your wishy-washy, diverted house Muslim version of Islam, okay? You used my name to take people away from Islam, basically.
100%.
And people left your majlis, secular Muslims, Unfortunately.
It's true,
Yeah?
it's true.
Secular Muslims, all they care about is rites and rituals, and that's it. Hussein alayhi salam, just he died at the ritual. It's the end. That's the end of it. Hussein alayhi salam, we have a responsibility towards him. We have a responsibility towards these majalis. These majalis, they're an amana. Yeah?
100%.
They're an amana. This is what has kept the religion of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi.
Alive.
Not just the Shayya, all of Islam.
Hussein
I say
minni.
this, وَأَنَا مِنْ Hussein, yeah? All of Islam, I even say to my Sunni brothers and sisters, that Islam that you have today only exists because of Al-Hussein alayhi salam.
No doubt,
Yeah?
no doubt.
And I say this with full confidence. With full
100%.
confidence. Had Al-Hussein alayhi salam not taken that stance on the 10th of Muharram, 61 years after Hijrah, on the plains of Karbala, the Shi'i, the Sunni, the Hanafi, the Maliki, no one would have Islam.
فعلى الإسلام السلام.
فعلى الإسلام السلام. We'd have Yazidism. This is what we'd have.
100%.
Yeah? We'd have the religion of Yazid if he had a religion. If he had a religion, la'natullah alayh.
Look, the thing is, like, if everyone really sits down and thinks about it, am I really a lover and supporter of Imam al-Hussein if I don't have certain attributes? Like people who go, and I tell everyone, do not reject anyone from the Majalis of Imam Hussein, even if you know they don't pray, even if they come and they don't wear a hijab usually. The sisters, they should wear a hijab out of respect, right? But don't reject them. Don't tell them, what are you doing here, right? Guide them with a smile, like بالكلام الحسن, with the good tone. But do you really support the cause of Imam al-Hussein if you do not pray? I'm going to mention a few things. If you do not pray, if you're not good, if you don't know what his main message is, if you're not trying to seek reformation, are you really a lover of Imam al-Hussein? Because I ask people, like, how? You come to the Majlis, you attend the Latmiyya, you do Latam, but you don't pray? Like, is your love real for Imam al-Hussein? Is it real? Like, if it's real, it should change you.
Are you even understanding Imam al-Hussein? Do you even know him?
That's what I mean.
Do you even know him?
Do you really know Imam al-Hussein? If you're not doing these things, if you don't have the what's hum? If you do not have
if you're not concerned with,
if you don't have the concern of seeking reformation, are you truly a Husseini? That's the main question. If you really understand Imam al-Hussein and what he stood for, you cannot stop or not seek reformation. You can't. Like, this is his main message. This is why he went. Right? It's good to attend the Majlis, but the Majlis is not the goal, the end goal.
Yeah, exactly. The
It's
Majlis is a means, yeah?
It's a means to something else.
It's a ala,
that tear that you shed is a means for something else. That chest that you hit is a means for something else, to awaken you, to remind you what this life is about and what you need to do. Right? If you don't reach that end goal, at least you're concerned to change something, then in my opinion, you don't really understand Imam al-Hussein fully.
Yeah, of course. I mean, to understand al-Hussein alayhi salam, you need to understand his mission statement, right? You need to understand what he went there to do. This isn't just and we're going to get to this, how al-Hussein alayhi salam is drawn in some majalis, yeah? In what light he's drawn in. We'll discuss it. But a lot, and this happens in the West a lot, where majalis are limited to just Muharram, right? I think here, maybe in Beirut, it's like weekly. Like, we're going to a Majlis tonight, right? And it's not Muharram yet. But we have Majalis almost weekly, okay? We attend Hayat, yeah? Latam, Aza, the Mawakib, all year round. So we live in the jaw of in the atmosphere of these Majalis. But in the West, it's just, khalas, it's seasonal. Muharram, maybe after Muharram for like a little bit, they'll have one Majlis on the Arbaeen, maybe Layali Fatimiyya, and that's it, right?
Exactly.
But they don't really understand or they haven't been exposed to the mission statement of Imam al-Hussein. That this isn't just an issue of a tragedy, right? Yes, the tragedy is great. It is the greatest tragedy to befall mankind. Yes. There is no tragedy like the tragedy of al-Hussein alayhi salam. But this tragedy didn't happen just so it can be a tragedy.
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean? It wasn't. It's not like some would like to draw it in the light that, you know what? Yeah, it happened so it can be a sad story, and I cry so that my sins are cleansed. Hussein alayhi salam didn't die for your sins. He died from your sins. Yes.
Good
He
one.
died from your. He didn't die for your sin. We're not Christians. Jesus didn't die for my sins. Al-Hussein alayhi salam did not die so that my sins can be forgiven. No, Al-Hussein alayhi salam died as a result of the sins of the ummah, and he died, salamullah alayhi. He was martyred, salamullah alayhi, him and his family, to revive the essence of this ummah, and to revive the mission of this ummah, and to revive the message of his grandfather, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. And Hussein alayhi salam is bringing back to life Islam so that it can live forever. And if you are not reviving Islam within yourself, within your family and your household and your society and your community and then the world, then you are not doing any justice to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. You haven't understood Hussein alayhi salam as he should be understood.
Yes, because, people try to envision it that Imam Hussein was seeking martyrdom just for the sake of martyrdom. No, he was doing his taklif, he was doing his duty, and if he could be victorious, ظاهرا, on the like the appearance, on the outer image and perspective, he would have been. But he went to do his duty. It was either a Nasr, victory, or Shahada.
That's right.
Which is the greater victory. But Shahada, martyrdom, is an individual goal. It's the greatest type of death that you could die, right? But when you look at it from a social perspective, right, not individually, no, Shahada is an individual goal, but you need to have other aims for society, and that was reformation. So we can say Imam Hussein had two goals. His individual goal was Shahada, but this is not why he went to Karbala, to just die.
That's right.
Right? His main mission was reformation. He stated that clearly. We always say it on every minbar, we say it, but we need the call to action.
We can even say Shahada, reformation through Shahada, yeah?
Exactly.
Through this Shahada, this ummah
They
was
align
reformed,
perfectly, yeah?
They align perfectly. It's not like one... Yeah,
it's either this or that.
Either this or that, yeah? And subhanAllah, we see, maybe because we live here in Beirut, and we live in the atmosphere of Shahada and Shuhada daily, right? Daily. We see that even when it's not an imam, just a regular shaheed, the impact he can have on people's lives. Okay? He can be like a hidden gem somewhere. No one really knows him. Or he could be one of your best friends. But you don't see him in that spiritual light. You don't see him in that light where he can affect you spiritually until after he's martyred.
Yes.
So Shuhada, Allah Azza wa Jal has blessed them, not only blessed them with Shahada, but they reform people around them.
100%.
Now imagine when it's Sayyid al-Shuhada, yeah? The master of the Shuhada.
Yes.
Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, his Shahada is supposed to reform not the world, yeah? It's supposed to reform the cosmos, wujud, existence as a whole. This blood of al-Hussein alayhi salam, this is what it's supposed to do. And if you are not working towards that, then you're in the way. Saraha.
Yes.
Yeah?
But look what that means technically from another perspective. If anyone is seeking reformation, be it in the health sector, be it in politics, be it in economy, be it on any social aspect, whatever it is, if you are seeking reformation and you die, then you're a shaheed in this sense.
Yeah. In the camp of al-Hussein alayhi salam.
Yes, it's not only at the front lines where you're on the battle, then only then you are a shaheed. Because now people think shaheed is only the one who dies on the battlefront. No.
Shahada is levels, right?
It is levels.
There's levels.
To give your blood for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal is great. It's the greatest and it has its own reward. But if you are seeking reformation and you die while seeking reformation, you are a shaheed. This was what Imam Hussein stood for. This is one. Number two, because you mentioned it. You said we can not compare anything with Karbala, right? It's the greatest tragedy. Now, I'm sure you heard that people are trying to compare, recently, they were trying to compare Rafah to Karbala, burning tents, etc. So would you like to just comment on that? Why what's happening in Rafah is a great tragedy, but it's still nothing compared to what happened in Karbala?
You know what's very sad about this entire discussion, right, is that the people involved, most of the people involved in this discussion, from one particular angle, they've been silent for months. Yeah, this war's been going on for 8 months now. Yeah. They haven't said one word. All of a sudden, they're coming out, oh, don't compare anyone to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. now they have an opinion on something, these people, right? And unfortunately, some of them with a amama on their heads, and the amama is not really worth the cloth that they're wrapped in, yeah? And it's very obvious because they've been silent this whole time. Yeah? What sort of amama do you represent? Now, all of a sudden, when it comes to an issue that's going to cause fitna amongst Shia, yeah, you have no problem being outspoken and giving your opinion. And no one is comparing anyone to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Let's just be clear here. Yeah? No one is coming and saying this person is Hussein alayhi salam. No one is coming and saying Gaza is Karbala. Karbala is Karbala, Hussein alayhi salam is Hussein alayhi salam. But because we are so attached to the message of Hussein, because we are so attached to Hussein alayhi salam, because Imam Hussein alayhi salam is an essential part of our existence, we see him in everything. So when I see a child without a head, I automatically go to Karbala.
It reminds us of Karbala.
It reminds me, when I see tents burning, I automatically go to Karbala. When I see a Muslim crying out, where are the Muslims? Calling out for helpers, I automatically go to the call of Hussein alayhi salam. This is how much Hussein alayhi salam has affected me. If your Hussein alayhi salam, his effect is only limited to the Majalis, that's your Hussein. Lakum Husseinukum walana Hussein, yeah? You can have that Hussein. You can have that Hussein, that ritualistic Hussein. And then you only come out to give an opinion when it comes to the rites and the rituals and the Majlis and, Al-Hussein la yuqas bi ahad. Yeah? We are not comparing him. Ahlul Bayt alayhum as-salam are not, and they know this. Do you want me to ahlif that they know this? Yeah? I can swear to God they know.
They know.
They know, but it's just a silly discussion that should not be had. In fact, you should be proud that your Hussein alayhi salam, is who we go to when we see these tragedies.
Yes.
You should be proud.
You know why? Aslan, because Imam Ali alayhi salam, in one of his famous sermons, when he speaks about, I don't have the wording of it in Arabic, but when he speaks about those who enter on al-Dhimmiyya, al-Mu'ahida wal-Dhimmiyya.
The Jewish woman, yes.
Yeah, the Jewish or
the
Christian
Khawarij,
woman, yes, and then they take her earrings and they hurt her and no one defends her, right? He says, لو مات غما أو هما ما كان به جديرا وما كان به أو ما كان به عندي ملوما, something like this.
I will not blame him, yeah?
Yeah, like I will not blame him if he dies when he hears that this is happening. To who? To a Jewish or Christian woman who is a mu'ahida, who has a contract to live in an Islamic state, right? And then when we see the oppressed Muslims are being hurt, we get hurt and we say that this reminds us of Karbala. What's the problem, right?
If it didn't remind us of Karbala, there's a problem. So just sticking on this point for a moment. Just to make it very clear again, in case it's not clear, no one is comparing Al-Hussein alayhi salam to anyone or comparing anyone to Al-Hussein. But because Al-Hussein alayhi salam is an essential part of our existence, he's our identity, we see him in everything and in everyone. Okay? And when we see the beauty of the message of Al-Hussein alayhi salam reaching places like Gaza. If you saw earlier in the war, right, there was that man in Gaza, the father, who was carrying his dead child in the hospital, and he was walking around, and what was he saying, holding the child? He was holding the child and saying, أَرَضِيتَ يَا رَبْ خُذْ حَتَّى تَرْضَى. The same words of Al-Hussein alayhi salam. Okay? Or when you see the woman of Gaza calling out, هَلْ مَن نَاصِرْ يَنصُرْنَا. The same words of Al-Hussein alayhi salam. The other day there was a woman in Khan Yunis, in Rafah, sorry. And she was saying the words of Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam to Yazid. كد كيدك واسع سعيك فوالله لن تمحو ذكرانا. Yeah, by Allah you will not wipe away. When I see these messages, so even these people who are not Shia, right? But they're extracting strength. They're deriving strength from the message of Al-Hussein alayhi salam. You should be proud here. You should be proud that the message has reached these people and that these people are taking strength from Al-Hussein alayhi salam. Meaning the message of Al-Hussein alayhi salam is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's being manifested here. People are finding strength in it. Okay? Secondly, even Al-Hussein alayhi salam says to you that there are people like me. right? When he speaks about the bay'ah to Yazid, what's he say? Mithli la yubay'a mithlak. Those who are like me, do not give allegiance to those who are like you. Otherwise, we'd say that it is only Al-Hussein alayhi salam who doesn't give allegiance to tyrants. I'm allowed to give allegiance to a
He
tyrant.
didn't say Al-Hussein bin Ali la yubay'a Yazid bin Muawiyah.
Yeah. Because if I'm going to use this example, then I can say that this is only limited to Al-Hussein. It's not an obligation on me to not give bay'ah to a tyrant. This is exclusive to Al-Hussein. Jihad is exclusive to Al-Hussein. Shahada is exclusive. Don't compare yourself to Al-Hussein. What's this mantiq? And
Logic.
You know what's funny? Most of these people, because we know them, right? They're not fans of mantiq and logic and falsafa.
And hashtag logic.
Yeah, they're not fans of it. Yeah, they say, what are these? Yeah, let's just go hadith, open up Bihar al-Anwar and like find the weirdest hadith narrations that no one even knows where they came from, and put them up on the minbar and a lion and I don't know what. But when it comes to the actual manifestation of the message, when it comes to this revolution of Al-Hussein alayhi salam empowering the ummah, they step back or they step in to cause a problem.
It's beautifully said, because so basically you're saying they're limiting Imam Hussein to something, and not only to something. They limit Imam Hussein, like you said previously, to just the days of Ashura, these 10 days, or let's say all of Muharram and Safar.
Majlis.
It's just limited to a certain time. But Islamically, if we look at it and look at our events and occasions, those who are occasions of joy and happiness, and those who are occasions of grief and sadness, we find Imam al-Hussein is present everywhere, right? On the night of the 15th of Sha'ban, the birth of Imam al-Hujjah, Ajala Ta'ala Farajahu al-Sharif, we find that you visit, you recite, you perform the ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein, right? Arafah, ziyarat Imam al-Hussein, right? Al-A'yad, Eid al-Ghadir, whatever.
Laylatul
Jum'ah, like
weekly.
Yeah, weekly. Like Imam al-Hussein is not only limited to the days of Ashura, is not only limited to the Majalis of grief and sadness.
He's not only limited to Imam al-Hussein. Imam al-Hussein is not limited to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. He transcends all of.
So Imam al-Hussein is present all over the year. Why? Because it's not just a tragedy that we mourn for a certain period and that's it. Imam al-Hussein is present everywhere. Why? To remind us that I'm present, I have a message, I gave my life for a purpose, you need to look after that purpose, which is reformation, islah, justice.
Absolutely.
This is the goal. Imam al-Hussein's goal aligns perfectly with the goal of the Quran.
It is.
لِيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ الْعَدْلِ. Imam al-Hussein is seeking reformation for adl, for justice. If you're doing that, you are on the Nahj of Imam Hussein. Even if you're not sitting in the Husseiniyah and listening to a Majlis, you are missing out on great rewards and ajr and thawab, and you should be present because this revives the cause of Imam Hussein. But even if you're not, and you are doing something to seek reformation, you are still on the Husseini path.
Absolutely.
Right? I think this is something that our people need to know. You need to seek reformation to be a real Hussein.
This is the slogan
in all aspects. This is why we say we highly respect doctors, engineers, nutrition, dietitians, whatever it is.
Even people who are in charge of city sanitation, the cleaners and
teachers, everyone. If you are seeking reformation in your field, whatever you're doing in life, you are on the path. You are getting rewarded. You're getting the ajr and thawab, and Imam Hussein is proud of you.
Absolutely.
If you are seeking reformation, doing anything, any what do you say, اختصاص,
any specialty,
there's another
any
word.
Profession.
Ahsan, profession is the word that I was looking for. Thank you. So if you're doing anything to seek reformation, you are a Husseini. You understood Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and don't miss out on the ajr of the tear shed on Imam Hussein, because it revives you. It has a special effect.
And I say this to the youth a lot, especially when we're talking about Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. And you said earlier, our youth, they're very they're very energetic, and they're charged, and they think that, you know what, I want to be a soldier of the Imam, meaning that no, I can only be a soldier of the Imam if I'm physically a soldier. And I come and I say this, you need to understand that the Imam alayhi salam is seeking to establish a universal government. And governments need engineers, they need doctors, they need accountants, they need plumbers, they need builders, they even need cleaners.
Everything.
Okay? They need mothers. We need people to, in the government of Imam al-Mahdi, we need people to clean the sewage pipes. Yeah, we need people to build our roads. We need people to build our homes. We need laborers. We need everything. So it doesn't matter what part of society you fall into, as long as you do what you do for the sake of reformation and the intention of building eventually the government of Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam, then you're a soldier of the Imam.
Look, I want to do something. I want to ask the viewers to write down the professions in the comments, and how they can seek reformation through their
professions.
Through their professions. I think, and then we can have a look at them, maybe comment them. That would be great,
yeah,
right? Like usually, I don't like to say this. I'm not a fan of like subscribe and these things. But if you find this beneficial and important, please share the episodes with your loved ones, with your friends. We'd really appreciate that.
I mean, maybe even inshallah, you can be guided if you're finding trouble, directing your profession or using your profession for the sake of your religion. Yeah, then maybe inshallah the Shaykh can benefit you with a piece of advice that direct your profession into this direction.
Yeah.
But that being said, Shaykh, when we talk about even the actual majalis, because we sort of want to like close this discussion.
The actual majalis and latim. Let's talk on that before we go to the Arbaeen.
Yeah, before we discuss Arbaeen, right? We see that, look, Tashayyu' has many strong points. And you mentioned that Ashura is one of our strongest strong points, yeah? If not the. And I find that our enemies, and many people sit there and be like, you know what, you're just always thinking you're a conspiracy theory. No, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. We have enemies. Tashayyu', Islam has enemies. And our enemies, if they want to effectively harm us, they're going to disarm us of our strongest weapons. Okay? When I come to Muharram, if I was the enemy and I want to harm Islam, I want to harm the Shia, then I will distort Muharram for them. I will distort the message of Al-Hussein alayhi salam for them. Today, unfortunately, we have seen, or we are seeing some of these majalis of Al-Hussein alayhi salam, and I'm sorry to say, with all due respect to all lovers of Al-Hussein alayhi salam, and I seek forgiveness before I say this from Imam Hussein alayhi salam, but some of these majalis have become a mockery, a great mockery. They don't represent Abu Abdullah. And this comes down to ignorance, lack of knowledge. And here I say that out in the West especially, because here alhamdulillah we have marja'iyya, yeah? When you talk about Iraq and Iran and Lebanon, we have marja'iyya, and they can be sometimes a little bit firm and control these settings and these things. But in the West, there's no marja'iyya out there, right? There's no strong authority that can sort of police this sort of thing. So it's open, yeah? Anyone just gets up on the minbar and anyone says whatever they want to say, qualified, not qualified, studied, not studied, amama, no amama, teachers, no teachers, anything.
That's one of the problems.
This is a massive problem. This is a massive problem. So and I plead and I beg the brothers and the sisters who are in charge of manabir in the West, if you are in charge, you're on a committee of a Husseiniya, a masjid, a ma'tam, a mawkib, a center, a minbar, an organization that is responsible for the majalis, you need to be extremely careful on who you put up on these manabir.
Yes, it's a great responsibility.
It's a massive responsibility.
Because look, when somebody goes on the minbar and talks to the Shia or talks to any type of people, what's basically happening is that the audience is giving its brain, its mind, its
mold my brain for me.
Yeah? Exactly. They're giving their brain to the speaker and telling him we're listening to you reshape it, reform it. You wouldn't go to somebody who's claiming to be
A heart surgeon.
a heart surgeon and be like, can you do like a surgery? You look good. I like the way you talk and speak. Just can you do a surgery?
Have a nice office.
Yeah. So for you to give your mind and intellect to somebody and let them reshape it, reform it, influence you, it's big.
Of course.
Wallahi, it's big.
Of course. And it's your religion.
Look, there's...
They're shaping your religion. They're shaping your deen, your aqaid, your relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal, your akhirah, potential, eternal, heaven or hell.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're just giving it to anyone because he has a nice voice, he looks good, his last name is cute, he comes from a prominent family, khalas, just give him my deen. Yeah?
I just want to quote a Sunni brother who converted to Tashayyu' and Shia. This is exactly what he said to me. He said, he was born as a Sunni and raised as a Sunni. And he said that he converted to Tashayyu'. But this is how he pictured the scenery to me. This is what he said. He said, I thought I was on the Titanic and the Titanic will never sink. His belief, his worldview, he compared that to the Titanic and he thought it will never sink. But then when he discovered truth, and this is what he is saying, his Titanic sank. It was a shock. He was in shock. And then he said this. He said, then I stood on the side and I thought, do I really want to go back on another ship again, which is Tashayyu'? He was scared. He's like, I don't know if I can do this. What if it sinks again? So it's a big responsibility when you listen to anyone, qualified, not qualified, knowledgeable, not knowledgeable. What are you doing? Who are you listening to? Right? In the Quran, the Imam explains the verse that says فَلْيَنْظُرُ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِهِ. Look at your food. The Imam says أَيْ إِلَىٰ عِلْمِهِ مِنْ أَيْنَ يَأْخُذُهُ. Very important. Yeah. Look who you take your knowledge from, not just anyone. So I totally agree with you.
No, absolutely. And like I said, the responsibility falls down on the shoulders of those who are in charge of these majalis. Yeah, especially in the West where our youth are already confused. They already have a problem with their aqaid and their identity. Muharram is the best opportunity to mold them.
Yes.
It's the best opportunity to indoctrinate them, to teach them and inform them about their religion. You can't just have anyone on there coming and teaching them things that aren't there. Because a lot of these people, sometimes I listen. I've attended Majalis for 10, 11, 12 nights and I've not benefited from these Majalis.
Yes.
There's a particular speaker, a brother a few years ago kept begging me, please come listen to him. He's so good, come and listen to him. One night I said, you know what, I'm going to go with you. And I went. MashaAllah, nice voice. It was good.
When I make this look, I know something big is coming.
No, I said to the brother, I said to him, how long have you been listening? He said, from the beginning. This was like the 8th or 9th night. I said, so 8, 9 nights now, you've given this guy your brain and your heart and your religion. What have you learned? And he was like, silent. Yeah, silent. I said, brother, what have you learned? What information did he give you? Did he improve your relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal? Did you learn something new about your religion? Are you more inclined towards doing more to better yourself? Be very honest. He said, no. I said, all he's doing, if I'm going to sit now in front of you, I'll tell you that 80% of what he said that made you cry tonight is not true. It's simply not true. It's a fairy tale, and he knows it. Yeah? He was shocked. I said, Wallah, I'll destroy your whole worldview. Yeah? Your whole world will come. If all you've gained from these nights is crying, yeah, I can destroy that for you now by telling you most of the things that you have cried about in these nights.
Not true.
Just here, just before someone comes out and says anything, yeah? It's not that the tragedy does not make you cry. It's the add-ons, I'm saying, that there are many things that are added on that shouldn't be.
Exactly.
They don't need to be. I mean, and this was our next point, right? Our next point was that you hear, the other day, I heard a particular speaker, he was saying that, these people that are so critical of the Majalis of Hussein alayhi salam. Look how they word it. They're critical of the Majalis of Hussein. Well, instead of saying they're critical of the speakers, no, critical of the Majalis of Al-Hussein, make you sound like you're an enemy of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He was saying that, always trying to pick at historical inaccuracies. This is not jurisprudence. This is not fiqh. We don't need a sahih hadith. We don't need to make sure that this is accurate. So you know what? Maybe in a particular part, you may have a point. But what happens to the whole spirit of truth then? Is Al-Hussein alayhi salam, as Al-Hussein alayhi salam is he not good enough to make you cry? Is the tragedy of Al-Hussein alayhi salam not tragic enough that I need to add on these things? I need to add individuals that never existed historically, or take individuals that weren't in Karbala and make them present in Karbala, or even make Al-Hussein. Sometimes they go to the extent where they want to make you cry that what they say is actually offensive to Al-Hussein alayhi salam and offensive to the message. For example, a controversial one, the topic of Abdullah al-Radi'. Yeah? From when you're this young up until today. What's the story Sheikh?
There's two versions.
But the popular version.
The popular version is he went and asked for water for Abdullah.
No. He went and begged for water.
Okay, you want to say begged. All right.
Yeah, that's what
he's
he
like,
did.
إن كان ذنب الكبار فما ذنب الصغار, etc. If it's the sin of the elder, it's not the sin of the younger, of the youth.
That's right.
But we have another version that no, he didn't go and ask for water. He just went to bid farewell. This is actually an authentic narration from Imam al-Baqir.
Exactly.
That he just said, give me Abdullah so I can bid farewell to him.
At the door of the tent.
Exactly. And then Harmala.
There was no asking or begging for water or any of that. In fact, the narration that says he asked and begged for water is a Sunni narration. It's not a Shia narration. We have a narration by an Imam alayhi salam, Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, who was present. He was an eyewitness to Karbala.
3-4 years old in Karbala.
He was 3-4 years old. He was present in Karbala. The Imam alayhi salam is giving you we've left that narration. Why? Because it's not dramatic enough.
Yeah.
It's not dramatic enough. And they'll go and they'll continue to use this narration, continue to use it. Make Al-Hussein alayhi salam of Al-Hussein of Hayhat minna dhilla to Al-Hussein who's begging and pleading with the enemy. Please leave me alone. Please let me go back. Please don't hurt me. This isn't Al-Hussein. There needs to be a reformation of the actual Majalis of Al-Hussein.
Yeah, we need reformation and everything.
The Majlis needs to be reformed.
Look, even when it comes to the Majlis and the Latmiya, both.
Of course, yeah, the Latmiya.
Both. The Majlis, the reciter, I'm not going into anyone's intentions or hearts. Inshallah, everyone is sincere. But the Majlis, when you recite it, it should be a tragedy. You need to really be sad, feel it in your heart, right? And give back the tragedy. Some people now see it as just a type of art, of a type of entertainment. Majlis, it sounds good. It makes me feel good. Don't worship your ego through attending these majalis. Don't go for your own sake. Don't go to feel better. Don't go to cry because you want to go, you have a problem and you can't cry unless you listen to something sad and then you go listen to the tragedy of Abu Abdullah, but you only remember your own misery, your own tragedy.
You're not really remembering Al-Hussein alayhi salam.
See, this is what I mean.
You're remembering yourself.
Yeah, no, go for the sake of Abi Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam. When you perform latam to the youth, to the shabab, I really feel so proud when I see these young men go and perform latmiya.
It's beautiful.
And I wish that this hitting on the chest is really a sincere one that makes them want to go and seek reformation. Don't let it end just after the reciter is done and you stop beating your chest. No, that chest you were striking or hitting, right? Go continue in seeking reformation. It should give you power to go seek reformation. Don't let it end and stop. Don't go just because it's a good vibe with the boys.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. Let's just go do latam. We feel good after that. Yeah, you need to feel good, but go feel good for something else. Do something else. Don't let it stop. Don't let the Majlis stop. Don't let the Latmiya stop. Don't let Ashura stop when the Majalis end.
Absolutely.
When the 10th of Muharram is over. Don't let it stop. Just continue. Take that energy, that power, and go seek reformation. This is the main message.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like you said earlier, so Muharram for us is not where the tragedy stops, it's where the tragedy begins. Because the actual tragedy of Al-Hussein alayhi salam starts on the 10th of Muharram and then it continues, yeah. This is the tragedy of Zainab alayhi salam. the tragedy of Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. All the way, we go all the way up until Arbaeen.
Yes.
And Arbaeen today, right? Arbaeen today has become the power hub of Islam, not Tashayyuh.
Yes,
The
everyone
might,
goes.
the might of Islam. And I don't care, all the Shia haters, they can talk.
Look, can I
Yeah?
like say something to that? Like maybe a word better. It's the hub of humanity.
It is.
Because Christians attend, Jews attend, everyone attends. Mainly Muslims, but everyone attends.
Everyone attends the Arbaeen, yeah? And it's the largest religious gathering.
I think it's
The largest gathering
ever.
every year,
Yeah.
every single year. It's the largest gathering.
23 million,
you know?
22 million.
And you know what? We don't need Guinness World Records to come and, they don't want to recognize
cares
it.
about
Who
them?
cares about them and who they recognize? We don't care whether they recognize us or don't recognize us, right? But we know, those who attend, I've been attending, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, almost every year since 2013, right? And we've been taking brothers and sisters to these
journey.
ziyarat. We've got the journey.
I'm honored to be with you this year.
No, we're
inshallah.
honored this year to have Sheikh Muhammad. We have Sheikh Muhammad with us this year. We also have Sayyid Hussein Makki with us, and we have Hajj Muhammad Talib from Australia. So we've got a really good lineup this year. Yeah?
Inshallah.
But this particular ziyarah, and I'll come back to the Hamli, but let me just talk about this ziyarah. This is ziyarah, I mean, just the idea, and I say this to everyone, I say, listen, you can never just go once to Arbaeen. It's never just once. It becomes a lifestyle. Arbaeen becomes a lifestyle. You start to live your entire year waiting and preparing for the next Arbaeen.
Me holding myself back from mentioning KeysToLife because you said lifestyle.
Because I said lifestyle. It's like you guys have a pattern on lifestyle. But it becomes a lifestyle. Yeah, Arbaeen becomes an identity. Matter of fact, there are so many people out here in southern Beirut. Yeah, there are like thousands of people I actually don't know. I don't know them. We don't know each other. But when we see each other in the street, we say hi to each other because we've seen each other in Arbaeen. It's like there's a bond, right? You just sort of look at each other, like salam, yeah? So you find that you have that bond, okay, with one another. Arbaeen, you revive the tragedy, but at the end of the day, this tragedy also, okay, it's coming back, and now when we get to Arbaeen, it's reached its peak, and the energy is there. The millions of people who from the 1st of Muharram have been mourning Imam Hussein alayhi salam have brought all their emotions, all of their energy, all of their love, all of their passion, and their spirit of revolution. They have brought it all to Karbala, 20-30 million people, and you get to see it manifested. And you know what? I can't help it. But when I get there, when I look at Karbala on the day of Arbaeen, and I think this is Al-Hussein alayhi salam, who was martyred here on his own, yeah? By himself, looking for just one helper. If he could just see, and he does see, salamullah alayhi, these millions, how proud our Imam alayhi salam is, Imam al-Hujjah salamullah alayhi, who I am certain, because we have in our narrations, yahdar al-mawasim, yeah? He attends the pilgrimages. Wherever the believers are gathering, whether it be in Hajj, whether it be in Ziyarah, the Imam salamullah alayhi attends. And I just picture him looking down at these tens of millions and just with pride, and he's happy. This is ziyarah. It shapes the identity of a Muslim. It shapes the identity of anyone that comes, really. I can't envision anyone coming to Arbaeen and leaving the same person.
Yes,
okay? Absolutely not. And this is why, for this reason, we began the journey. Okay? Because we saw that our youth, our English-speaking youth, they're missing out on these ziyarat. Or if they're attending and
not really understanding everything, getting the full experience.
They're missing out, really.
Yes.
They're missing out. So we intended to establish a hamla that doesn't simply just take the youth to the ziyarah, that doesn't just take them there and say to them, you know what, this is Arbaeen, this is the maqam, this is the haram, sit here, cry, do a majlis, go home. We want these youth to really experience the ziyarah in English. So we have them coming from all over the world, from Australia, from the UK, Europe, the United States, from Canada, from Africa, we have Zawar, from the Islamic Republic, from Pakistan we have, from India we have Zawar coming, even from here in Lebanon. They attend. And the aim is for you to come and experience Al-Hussein alayhi salam as you should be experiencing him. To come and live with the doctrine of Imam Al-Hussein alayhi salam. Our aim is to empower them, to indoctrinate them, to send them back shaped. We have them for 10 days, 10 nights, to send them back as molded Husseinis, to mold their persona and their identity. Send them back into their communities as effective soldiers of Imam Al-Hussein alayhi salam. We're recruiting. This is what we're doing. We're recruiting for Imam Al-Hussein alayhi salam. We're here to indoctrinate, okay? And you'll find many of our Zawar, they repeat Zawar. They'll come every year. And every year one will come and bring another.
That's
we
good.
Started off the first, and I'll end. I'm not here to promote or.
No, it's a bit, no.
But we would love from our Zawar anywhere around the world to join us on this year and just see the vibe. Check it out, right? Our first ziyarah was, I think, in 2017. Our first official one.
As so 7 years ago.
Yeah, as the journey, right?
Yes.
There were little ones before that, okay, but not under the name of the Hamla. The first one, we had 3 Zawar.
Wow.
3, yeah, we had 3 Zawar. We had a brother and his wife and another brother. Okay, we had 3. And it was nice. It was very humble, okay? It was very, very humble. And then
this is how it starts. You got to start somewhere.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. It started to snowball. Went from 3 to 30 to 50 to 70. Last year we had about 100 Zawar. This year we're looking at getting about 150, I think, inshallah. But no matter what the number is, right? What it is that it gives you an opportunity, first of all, to experience Al-Hussein alayhi salam in your native tongue, English, to experience Al-Hussein alayhi salam outside the rites and rituals.
And even if we have some Germans coming around.
Oh yeah, the Sheikh is German, yeah.
German, Arabic, English.
German,
maybe
Arabic,
later on
English.
We're planning on learning Spanish as well.
Yeah, we're definitely, me and Sheikh Muhammad are going to learn Spanish, inshallah. Yeah, so we can benefit our Spanish brothers and sisters, inshallah. So we want them to come and experience this, and also to network, yeah. And it's amazing the friendships and the bonds and the networks that develop when we talk about youth from Sydney communicating now and developing a friendship and bond, and sometimes even marriage. Not sometimes, actually. I think almost every year we do have like some sort of inter-community marriage happen. And then this networking and this organization and this communication starts to emerge, and it truly evolves into a sort of global family movement, inshallah.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful vibe, and I can't wait for you to experience it. Really.
I'm excited. I'm
excited to have you on this year.
Because Sheikh Mu'taz said that the project is the Hamla. So we're going to be staying with the Zawar 24/7.
Yeah, we're with
long
them all
nights,
the time.
just
they have
with
absolute
them.
Access to us, you know. It's not just limited to just lectures and majalis. And no, we're there. Me, myself, you, Sayyid Hussein.
I can't wait to be with everyone. Like these nights are sacred nights, holy nights. And like you said, Arbaeen is a good opportunity to network, to get together, to build projects, to develop them, to be stronger together.
Strengthen the mission.
Yeah, because you have no other occasion except Hajj maybe that gathers that many people. Even Hajj every
like
year, 2 million?
Maximum, 2-3 million, maximum.
So it's maybe the strongest one. Then we have Hajj, then we have other occasions. But I think it's very important to go, to visit, to get the ajr, to network, to connect with the Muslims, so we can seek reformation together.
That's right, yeah.
And subhanallah, I'm looking forward.
I'm really excited about this year, inshallah. I'll take a look at Sheikh Muhammad's socials myself, if you're after the poster, and just shoot us off an inbox if you have any questions, inshallah. And I think that's a wrap, yeah?
Yes, I think so too.
Inshallah.
Habiba Shaykhna, thank you so much. To the viewers, inshallah, a'adham Allahu ujurakum. Don't forget us in your prayers, in your majalis, when you shed your tears, when you recite your prayers and supplications after the Majlis. Shaykhna, I ask you the same thing. You're going to be in Australia, inshallah, this Muharram.
Yes, inshallah, I'll be in Australia
reciting
this Muharram in Sydney,
so
right?
May
and
Allah
you'll be in Ottawa, Canada.
In Ottawa, in Canada.
Send my salam to the brothers and sisters.
Inshallah, I will. Same, and much love to the community in Australia,
inshallah.
Sydney, and if you get to go to Melbourne, the other communities, Canberra, they're always in my heart, يعني. And inshallah, we'll stay in touch. And thank you for watching. أجركم الله والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
عليكم السلام.